Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here. Same discussions on Strike 7 Sports. And I just want to talk about the recent news concerning the New Orleans Saints and some moves that the new head coach, Dennis Allen, has made to the Saints coaching staff. A lot of people upset. I would say upset, somewhat confused by the move that has been made by Allen as he attempts to bring in a new staff to the New Orleans Saints coaching positions. So it started off yesterday. Various reporting sources came out reported that a few coaches under the Sean Payton regime will not be returning to the New Orleans Saints coaching staff. So I'm just gonna read it. Go ahead and read this piece right here from Jeff Duncan of NOLA.com. New Saints head coach Dennis Allen began remaking his coaching staff Wednesday by letting go of his longtime strength and conditioning coach Dan Dalrymple and offensive line coach Brandon Nugent, multiple sources said Wednesday night. Offensive analyst Jim Chaney, who joined the Saints last year, also will not be retained under the staff. Sources said Dalrymple was one of the longest tenured coaches in the building, having joined Sean Payton's original staff in 2006. Before joining the Saints, Dalrymple spent 17 seasons as a strength coach at Miami of Ohio, where he coached with Payton from 1994 to 1995. Nugent had been with the Saints since 2015. He served as the Saints offensive line coach last season. Before that, he worked with tight ends, then run game coordinator Dan Roger. Dalrymple and Nugent were both under contract for the 2022 season. Sources said Doug Marrone, the former Bills and Jaguars head coach, is expected to replace Nugent as offensive line coach. Sources said the NFL Network reported Wednesday that Marrone, who served as the offensive coordinator on Payton's staff from excuse me 2006 to 2008, will be added to the offensive staff in a key role. Allen also interviewed the Detroit Lions secondary coach, passing game coordinator Aubrey Pleasant for the team's defensive coordinator position Wednesday. The NFL Network reported Pleasant interviewed for the same position with the Minnesota Vikings earlier this week. All right, man. So we'll just go over this piece real quick. So when this report came out, right, I think it was that day yesterday about the team hiring my bad Doug Marrone for a certain position on the on offense to work with the offense. Everybody's alarms went off and went into panic mode for the most part and thought that Doug Marrone was coming in to be an offensive coordinator. And that simply wasn't the case. Nick Underhill and a few others came out and stated that Marrone is coming in to work with the offensive line. And he was at Alabama last year and that's like the rehab center for head coaches that get fired. They go to Alabama, clean up the act, do a good job up there, and they get looked at for jobs. So, but he's done a good job in the past with developing offensive line, developing running games, running attacks with the Saints. I think Carl Nix worked up under him. Zach Strief, Jari Evans, Jamon Bushrod. Those are great players on that offensive line working under the guidance of I'm tripping, man. Doug Marrone. My bad, man. Doug Marrone, man. Now he may not be a good head coach in Jackson. He was didn't do a good job in Jacksonville, but hey, sometimes it don't work out. But I guess I saw a lot of people online on Twitter, Saints Twitter, um, kind of voicing their frustrations of the hires of Doug Marrone and the other guy. Forgot his name, man. Um, Joe Morton, as the to become head coaches on the offense for the offense. I think we kind of jumped to conclusion a little bit because we don't know what they're gonna do at that offensive coordinator position. A lot of people are saying that it was because of nepotism and he's getting people that he knows he's comfortable with working with, and he's not looking. He's not, and that Allen is not thinking outside the box. Well, usually when a new head coach comes in, they usually work. They usually hire people that they're comfortable with and that they know and they have a history with to build a staff up. It's just that simple. So I don't expect anything less from Dennis Allen. Now the big question is, what are you going to do about that offensive coordinator position? That's going to be the big mystery. That's the big mystery right now because the type of coordinator they bring in is going to determine the type of offense the Saints is going to run. So based on all accounts, based on all reports out there, is that Pete Carmichael is not going to be back. He's not going to be the offensive coordinator for the Saints. He will have a role with the team. We just don't know what it's going to be. But it's probably going to be with the offense. But we don't know. It's not going to be a OC for the most part. We know that so far. And also, it departed ways with Curtis Johnson, who was a long-time wide receiver coach of the Saints. He was there from the beginning with Sean Payton. He went off to won the Super Bowl under that coaching staff. Went off to Tulane. I think then he spent some time with Chicago Bears for a year or two, and came back to the Saints. So that's another position they got to fill: offensive coordinator, wide receiver coach, and defensive coordinator. Now they hired this guy from not hired, but they interviewed this guy who was working with the Detroit Lions as the secondary coach. And Aubrey Pleasant, the guy who in the video who was yelling at the player for the Lions on the sidelines on the bench, that's that guy. Now, most likely a Rooney Rule interview. So we'll see how everything plays out. But they interviewed. Let me see here real quick. Let me check it out. Give me a second. One moment. Right here. Dallas assistant. They interviewed Dallas assistant Robert Prince for offensive coordinator position. So he has the thing with Prince is that he's worked with some good wide receivers down there with the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson. Um, the names goes on and on. Work with some great talent out there in Dallas. There's probably another Rooney Rule interview, so that makes it two for those positions. Um, Probably gonna be another interview tomorrow, but we'll find out who they're gonna decide to finally they end up going with. I think gut feeling. I think for defensive coordinator position, I think they're gonna go with either Ryan Nelson or Chris Richard. Gut feeling deep down, I think they go with Ryan Nelson for that defensive coordinator position. That's a guy that they've been propping up for a long time. They didn't want him to leave last year when he got an opportunity to become the defensive coordinator at LSU. Sean Payne stepped in and blocked that one. Also interviewed with Green Bay last year for their defensive coordinator position. He didn't get it. They went decided to go a different route, so he came back to the Saints. And the Saints, I think the Saints promoted him on the staff. Got a bump in pay, and I think he's a assistant now, high level assistant with the team. So I think it's going to be Ryan Nelson as the new defensive coordinator. They could go either way. But we'll find out. But that offensive coordinator position is important. That is important. I think a lot of people kind of getting ahead of themselves, assuming the worst is going to happen. We just gotta chill, man. Take it day by day with this stuff, man. It's a process. It's not. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's the off season. Things got to get in place. I'm more than sure they're gonna have an offensive coordinator before free agency. Pretty much, they're gonna have one before the free agency period. Might even have one by the Super Bowl, by a day after, a few days after the Super Bowl. But there will be a new OC before that. And by the time we know who's the new offensive coordinator, we will know what type of quarterback they're looking for. When I mean, I've been thinking of some names out there that are out there, but they're already on teams right now. These guys they bring in right now. I never heard of these guys before, except the guy from Detroit. But if they do hire somebody for that offensive coordinator position, then I'll be looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that defensive coordinator, not defensive, that wide receiver spot for wide receiver coach, because that's a position the Saints struggled with last year. Wide receivers couldn't get separation, couldn't get open. It was just a lot going on, man, last year with that. So we'll see how that's going to play out. And besides that, besides what happened last season, prior to that, the Saints wide receiver core was pretty dull in my opinion, pretty dull. You know what I'm saying? And that strength conditioning removal of that strength conditioning coach, I think that was warranted as well, because the Saints just had a lot of injuries, man. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries the past 3 seasons. This year, 2021, finally caught up with them. They didn't have the depth behind that to mask those injuries, to cover up those injuries. So they finally caught up to the Saints. And despite that, they still won 9 games, still finished the season above 500. You know, but I just think we just need to calm down. We need to chill out with the hot takes of the buddy system and the good old boy network, and just let the process, let the process finish itself out. You know, it's just we got a lot of time. You know, but we'll see how everything plays out, man. Hopefully, man, they get a guy that could come in here and turn around this offense. Because his last 2 seasons, the offense has been stale, in my opinion. It's been predictable. Hopefully we get something new and innovative with this team. So we'll see how everything plays out. All right, man. That's all I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Who do you think the new Saints offensive coordinator is going to be? Were you disappointed by the removal of Curtis Johnson, um, the offensive line coaches, all of the staff that was here with Sean Payton, all of them, and also the description box below. Check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest articles on the New Orleans Saints organization. I got a new piece that came out today talking about the importance of Dennis Allen finding a quarterback that would, preserve his second stint as a head coach in the NFL. That's all I have for y'all for right now. Have a blessed night. Peace. Who that? I'm out.